Now, Ambassador of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Khazar Farhadov, in addition to your opening remarks, what would you like to say on the bilateral trade, on the investment opportunities, along with the energy cooperation and collaboration between Pakistan and Azerbaijan?
Assalam, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you very much, this organizer, inviting us just to contribute to the awareness potential of economic cooperation between two brotherly countries. Of course, we will not go more details, but at least in general, we can share some information with you regarding this trade situation between our two countries and also investment opportunities for future. First of all, I would like to say that between Pakistan and Azerbaijan, traditionally in the modern days, there was no such, very much developed economic cooperations. Maybe, I don't know, Azerbaijan landlocked country, and we are relatively, newly independent, getting independent country also. Maybe it's 30 years comparing the history of modern history is not a big time period. But anyway, we are not just looking from that perspective to our relation with Pakistan, because Pakistan is one of the places historically linked with Azerbaijan. And if I tell you, I repeated it many times in different occasions, if I tell you that we have Multani Saray, which gets its name from the ancient city, one of the ancient cities of the Pakistan, Multan, built 600 years ago in Baku, old part of the Baku. Especially it was built for the traders for today's Multan. Can you imagine, almost roughly, I mean, the distance between the cities or historical cities around, if you travel by road, it's around 2,000 kilometers. But 600 years ago, people, traveled to each other so frequently they had a need at that time to, build this structure. Just name it because of the visitors from Multani Caravanserai. And it is just next to the Bukhara Caravanserai. I mean, it shows that both Caravanserai almost built at the same period, and it shows that Azerbaijan was crossroads of the trade, one of the main destinations on the ancient Silk Road, let's say bringing together Central Asia and also subcontinent. That's why even today our priority is like that. We are, as landlocked country, together with Central Asian countries, we are trying to build this connectivity between Asia and Europe. And Pakistan is one of the big players in the economy of the region of the Asia, as having access to the open seas, ports like Karachi and Gwadar, Port Qasim, and etc. And it always very attractive for Azerbaijanis, even ancient time, and also Central Asian countries. That's why, in our perspective, we have bilateral relations with Pakistan, and also in the common, let's say, economic cooperation area, like East Europe countries region. We have a special interest to build our cooperation with Pakistan. Our trade turnover just 4 years ago was around 10 million. Of course, it is not even mentioned worthy, the figure, but of course, just to show the severity of the pure economic relation, I have to mention this. But Alhamdulillah, last 4 years, we increased this around 100 million US dollar in just 4 years. I can say it is, of course, behind all this process, there is huge support from both governments, both leadership, because right now, driving force in the trade increasement is the both governments. Right now, we are selling LNG, urea to Pakistan directly or indirectly from different countries with the active participation of our SOCAR trading, which is based in different countries. One of them office is in Dubai. But the main our aim not to get limit ourselves G2G engagements in the increasement of the trade, but one of the important thing is the B2B, which today I think it is good opportunity to to share the ideas with you for being useful, beneficial in this regard. We very much focused on the direct flights. Till last 4 years, there was no any direct flights. I mean, at least permanent direct flights. There was some tries, but it just last 1 year or some months, but was not, permanently regular. But last 4 years, last 3 years even, we achieved this huge, breakthrough in this regard. We connected Baku and Islamabad and Lahore, saying altogether weekly 7 flights. If you take into account that Baku and Islamabad and Lahore is close to each other, and destination that it is better for use one of the cities instead of going the third country city and then wait some hours and then fly to Baku. We can see now right now for the let's say Punjab and the south and the, let's say, North Punjab area, we have daily flights between Azerbaijan and Pakistan, and it shows real and immediate, let's say, output to our trade relations. Just after first flights, our trade turnover from 10 million 3 years ago jumped to 30 million in just 1 year. It shows how much awareness is important, because something, you can read from data, which we cannot be sure about, objectiveness, fairness of these data, at least in some point, but going, seeing, and making the, personal relationships, which is core of the business for the future, both the trade and investment. That's why we see all these, things very important. I can go more. What Azerbaijan did for connectivity, as I mentioned about the flights as a connectivity, because we are landlocked country. We don't have, let's say, C2C, transportation between Baku and Azerbaijan, Baku and Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Pakistan. But in that case, the direct flights played special role. But in general, approach, we invest a lot to bridge, to make the bridge and make the shortest and the safest mid corridor through Azerbaijan, working with Central Asia and Turkey and Georgia right now, and the Eastern European countries and the South European countries. Right now, the shortest route between China and Europe goes through Azerbaijan, especially international Trans-Caspian corridor, which we call mid corridor. In the future, putting our all efforts together to connect the CPEC and with this mid corridor, of course, it will bring its own, huge amount of contribution to our Pakistan and Azerbaijan relations. That's why, taking into account, taking in the hand all this, relations with Pakistan at the bilateral level needs also approach of the, regional cooperation level. That's why this last, developments regarding as a boosting this mid corridor, Zengezur corridor, also will, play special role between Asia and Europe. Additionally, what I already explained, this mid corridor that goes through the Caspian Sea. Of course, what comes, investment. What I can say, we are mainly interested to build good relations, especially with the neighbor countries and also countries nearby regions. Just as I mentioned, being landlocked country became hub is one of the priorities of Azerbaijan, and adding to historical relations with those countries from the east and the west, it gives another, good opportunity for Azerbaijan to, as a known, reliable partner in this regard. Just we are also trying not to just, move the cargoes through Azerbaijan. Investing in this sphere in infrastructure. In Azerbaijan and the regions that's, bordering with us, but also we are looking for the green energy, let's say, transportation besides this fossil energy resources. It is all the, for the future-oriented, let's say, projects that immediately we think we are sure that will give, results in bringing peace, security, prosperity, and stability, making this trade and investment, especially not only for financial gains, but also for the future, shaping aims. I will stop here. Regarding this investment, of course, last year in his state visit to Pakistan, my president announced Azerbaijan to invest in Pakistan $2 billion. Of course, when it comes to which area we are mainly prioritizing for investment, of course, the area Azerbaijan traditionally investing in abroad It's energy sphere infrastructure. We, of course, started feasibility, process, and we concretize almost the projects. Inshallah, we hope soon we start one of the projects, but we cannot announce it unless it will finally, agreed by the side. Thank you very much.